Hello, it is I, Gumpzilla.
It's me, A-DAM here as well.
And who's that
Hollywood
great ape at the over
Applesnatch.
there?
Yes.
It is Hollywood Applesnatch of the Fives of the Week. A-DAM, how are you feeling after this great ape attacked you?
Still a little sore, but nothing too tough, like nothing too bad to keep me down. I'm just gonna keep getting back up. Once you knock me down, I'll keep getting back up. So, um, but it's a little rough here to have that happen and then have him on here, but um, we'll get through
Yeah.
it.
Hey, Hollywood, you're kind of sideways there though, sir. There you
There
go.
we go. There we go.
So, Hollywood. Now, of
Yeah.
course, we were, by contract, unfortunately, we had to do this show because it's a yearly thing that we have to do. However, we would like to appreciate and thank you for being on our show, the greatest wrestling podcast, or well, at least the hottest wrestling podcast uh, out there. We appreciate you being here. I know you've been wanting to be on this show. Um, how are you doing?
Good. Good. It's an honor. Enjoy it.
Yeah,
You know.
we're. I know that we're on the opposite ends, and we're not seeing eye to eye lately. But we do appreciate you being here.
Oh,
We were
absolutely.
supposed to also have Mo Money Mike on the show tonight, but he's dealing with some personal issues. So any shots, I'm not doing any shots tonight against Mo Money Mike. We want to make sure I'm wanting to be respectful tonight for him. He's like I said, dealing with some personal issues, and also tonight, his mentor had passed away today, Coach Nick. And Hollywood, you just had him on your show, Fives of the Week, back in November. Can you tell us some things off the air after the episode that he might have talked to you guys about afterwards?
Yeah.
Got any stories?
Uh, you know, it was a great honor to be able to sit with this man, and you know, talking about football and being a football player. I played for many years, and he happened to. I threw a name out there of this coach from Catholic Central, that who coached me in my senior year, and happened to be a good friend of Coach Nick, and he knew him, and I couldn't believe it. I said, "You got to be kidding me!" He's
Hmm.
like, "Oh yeah," and it was so amazing to know the connection there. You know what I mean? Because this guy was amazing too, and it was one of his partners. But to listen to that guy and all that he gave, more than just coaching, and the kids, how the people just loved him.
Hmm.
I'm really, just really, really in shock tonight, just knowing that he's gone. And like you said, November,
Yeah.
right there, and that's it, done. He had his retirement, the celebration and everything, and then it's just gone. That guy was epitome of a great man, a great coach, and a great mentor. I
Yeah.
can't say enough.
He I mean that was one of probably so far probably my favorite episode that you guys have had. He was probably my favorite guest. He could have like the stories he was telling on your show,
Hmm.
like from his humble beginnings of being like playing football to his humble journey to be how many state titles did he win at De La Salle?
Oh, tons of them. I mean, you know, you see a guy like that, and I had nephews that played, for him, and you see, like, I never knew there was a connection between him and Mike. Mike getting the job and all that, and then Mike winning the
Right, right.
championship there, and that's so amazing because that helped his career too. You know, with going other places, and you know, it's just one of them things. Like I said, my first time of meeting him, and I knew instantly I liked him. And I
Yeah.
knew this man knew what he was. He reminded you of that throwback, like here's the guy in the Landry days and all that back in the Starbuck. He
Mm,
knew that game, and you just had that sense by sitting next to him. You were sitting next to something great, and I
right.
was right by him. Even you see in the pictures, even right next to him, and I know life is life, and it just saddens me to see that today. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like wow, and we got to push on and honor for that man. And there may be different things and things we do in life, and coaching, mentoring somebody. He'll always be right here in your mind.
Right.
Mm.
Well, so tonight's show we're dedicating to Coach Nick. Um, and man, I would have loved to hear another. I mean, I couldn't wait for the next episode when you guys had him on, but I'm
Yeah,
glad that you guys were able to get him on when you did. So,
very big
and
piece, man. Very big
yeah,
piece.
yeah, our on behalf of Adam and I and the Wrestling Weekly Review, our condolences to you guys at the Fives of the Week with losing Coach Nick. So,
Yeah, yeah. Appreciate that. There ain't no doubt about it, man.
yeah. All right, so our episode. Well, you can nickname it Fives of the Weekly Wrestling Review, as this is a crossover show that
Hmm.
we will have for WrestleMania, and then we will have another one by our contract for SummerSlam. So you'll get two crossover shows a year. Uh, and so we will host WrestleMania, the WrestleMania preview every year, and the Fives are going to go ahead and they will host the SummerSlam preview in SummerSlam or in the summer. So be on the
Yeah.
lookout for that on both Weekly Wrestling Review with Gumpzilla and A-DAM and Fives of the Week. It, it's a great opportunity for us. I mean, like I said, I mean, we're having our differences right now, but
Hmm.
we're great when it comes down to it. In the end, we're wrestling fans. So
Yes.
Oh, no doubt about it. No
so
doubt
this
about it.
so this is why we are going to do this show uh, with the two biggest shows of the year in WWE. We will have our crossover shows with both, for both shows. So anyhow, let's go ahead and get started. Of course, obviously, the big news heading into WrestleMania was Kevin Owens having to basically get out of WrestleMania, and like something, something that you don't normally do unless you have an injury, and that's what KO's got. And it was so bad that he couldn't even get to WrestleMania. He had to pull out of WrestleMania, and so this past week he had officially gotten successful neck surgery. So the one thing is that's going on, and if you guys remember a couple weeks ago, my rant against the basement dwellers of the international wrestling community.
Hmm.
Well, it stepped up to like 10 levels this past week. Last week, when Kevin came out and had announced that he had to pull out of WrestleMania, as he's walking back to the back, a fan had come up and said that he was faking it, and that it he's faking this shit. It's somewhere along the lines of that language. Well,
Yeah.
that caught the attention. Obviously, like normally, wrestlers will just kind of like let it go and just keep going, but this really hit a nerve to him. So now there have been people in the basement dwellers of the IWC have been posting that, well, we can say whatever we want. And they've been also calling Kevin Owens, this is a work, that, he's a fat piece of shit, that kind of, along the lines of that. It's like, this guy is hurt. Nobody would ever back out of a WrestleMania payday. And I mean, like, I thought that I was sick of them saying that booing Bianca Belair was racist, but now we're taking it to another level. And a man who's legitimately hurt, whose career could, it's 50-50. I mean, we don't know if he's going to be able to come back because, I mean, you've got injuries, along the lines of like Big E, who's we're still waiting to come back if he
Oh
ever
yeah,
comes back.
yeah,
You know,
Yeah.
um, you know, also Edge has had kind of like a similar kind of surgery where it took him out of wrestling for what, anywhere between 5 to 10 years.
they had
So
Stone Cold Steve Austin, same stuff. They had to go through the neck.
yeah,
Hmm.
Stone Cold, yeah. It,
Yeah.
it's 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 remarkable that when you get the basement dwellers, and as much as I want to say names, I won't say names because, I mean, I don't want us to get sued or in trouble by broadcasting on the internet
Yeah,
or on
yeah,
the
absolutely.
streams of who this particular basement dweller is. But there was a basement dweller that I got into it on Facebook saying, hey, yeah, we pay good money. We could say whatever we want. And I take offense to the fact that I own a house. And it's like, okay, but it still makes you a basement dweller. Then he started like he pulled like a picture of me, like, from 10 years ago when I was holding a belt. And he's like telling me, see, you're just carrying a toy belt. Like, oh yeah, I know I'm carrying a toy belt. Thank you very much. I mean, it went on, and there were people, like I said, they were calling him a fat piece of shit. He sucks anyways. So what are your guys' take on it?
Well, it wouldn't make any sense for this to be a work because like he's starting to build himself back up so much. He's doing some of the best work that he's done in a while, and like it, people just, they just want to put stuff out there for other people to comment on it and stuff, but it doesn't make sense to me. Like, I think he's legitimately, I think he's really injured, and like it just stinks because like I said, he's been putting in so much good work, and that he was gonna fight Randy Orton and stuff like that. He had that good run with Cody, you know and it's just a shame that he got injured at this time. But yeah, these people need to like take a step back and just like think like, okay, um this guy might really be hurt, but people don't care. They just want to talk, and they think they're always right, and then even when they're wrong. But it's a shame. Like, these are professionals that go out there, work their butt off, and they put their body on the line, and then you get these people, like you said, that just sit at home and they think they know everything, and they're absolutely wrong. But that's what I feel.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
Hollywood?
I agree on the lines of that. I mean, I've been a big fan since I've been about 7 years old, 8 years old. You know, um, and yeah, you're right. They have their opinion. They pay their money, they get their opinion, but they can get extensive. Just like when you have people start jumping in the ring with
Hmm.
these wrestlers,
Yeah.
you're risking yourself. They must protect themselves at all costs, and they're the same ones that want to go, oh, it's fake and all this and blah blah blah. To really see some of these guys in their bodies that they put themselves through, like we know Mick Foley, Cactus Jack. Look at
Hmm.
all the things that it's done to him, the scars, the brain damage. You know what I'm saying? All these different, some of
Yeah.
these guys, Hogan, the hips are gone from the wrestling.
Yeah.
So and the list just goes on and on and on. Now, like you said, Kevin Owens, he was stagnant there for a long time, as we all know. He couldn't get over that top. Was he ever going to get over the top? Was he ever going to be a champion? You know what I mean? Um,
Right.
and he started climbing, and unfortunately, it just happened at this bad time, or is it really an injury? You know what I mean?
Right.
So you just don't know. But it's great. I mean, I like his story. How he's one tough SOB. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
unreal. But
Well,
yeah,
did
some
you?
fans they go a little too far. Absolutely. Be the
Right.
first one if you said something to them. You know, um, whining and you know, I give these guys great. I mean, not only you're away from your family for one, on the road 365 days a year. That's a lot to take enough out of you.
Hmm.
Plus your body every night. You know, being on the mat, hitting the mat, and everything. You know how that feels.
Right.
Doing that every
Yeah.
single night. So sometimes it's never enough for
Right.
people. But guess what? You single them out, they don't even matter.
Hmm.
You
Right.
know, thanks for coming,
I
but you
mean,
don't matter.
like he had an interview, I think this past week that came out, and he's come out and like he actually came out and said this week, like, hey, like if you see me in the airport, I am approachable. You want an autograph? I'll give you an autograph. But if you're bringing like buckets of items for me to sign, I'm not doing it. And
Right.
I mean, like that. I mean, the fact that he's out there willing to offer that if you see him in the airport, come and chit chat with him. I mean, within reason is that talk about a great guy. I mean,
Oh,
Adam and
absolutely.
I saw him a couple years ago, him and Sami Zayn at a meet and greet, and they were both incredible. And Kevin Owens was like one of the nicest people. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, heck, I mean, I'm wearing his shirt today, to kind of show my support. But I mean, like I said, I mean, the man just nobody's gonna back out of a WrestleMania payday unless they're absolutely injured. I mean,
Absolutely.
with it being so close to uh WrestleMania. So I mean, the, the last few weeks, I mean, I'm sure. I mean, you probably heard the rant there, Hollywood,
Hmm.
a couple
Yeah.
weeks ago. I'm me personally. I'm so sick of the basement dwellers of the IWC because they just make wrestling not fun, and
Yeah.
it's absolutely ridiculous that they, the way that they try to, like that entitlement that you know, or most of them are basically like AEW only. That diehard fan, and I hate everything about WWE, but it's like and it doesn't matter what promotion it is. These guys are going out, like you said earlier. These guys are going out of their way to put their bodies on the line to
Hmm.
entertain us, and a lot of you get that sect of the IWC who just are awful people. I
And
mean,
that's
and
why
there's
they're
no candy coating
IWC.
it.
That's why they're IWC. Because like any wrestler would tell you, to get to the epitome where you need to be, it's the WWE.
Hmm.
Right,
Yeah.
And they know that. They work hard because they said that's the top of the mountain, the WWE.
right,
This Nitro's gone. That was a feud back then with Ted Turner and all them. That's when it was really live. It was, but that's gone.
Hmm.
That's no more. AEW will never be enough.
No,
Never,
I
never enough.
right,
I 100% agree with that.
It's your youth league that you pull from and bring up.
Hmm.
And most guys will tell you that's where you want to be. And they feel if they never make it there, that they haven't accomplished because that's
right,
the ultimate goal is to be in the WWE.
right. Well, I mean, Sal, when we're talking about like the IWC though, the international, it's the wrestling fan base. That's what they
Yes.
call us, is the international wrestling community. But it's
Yeah.
just, I mean, because like I said earlier when I opened up the show, we're wrestling fans, and you know, we can't. It sucks that we have that sect in. I mean, I guess it really doesn't matter where you go. There's going to be a sect of people that are just going to be, miserable and just want to complain
Haters,
and just be
haters, man,
behind
you can't stop. Yeah.
the computer. Just to type things behind the computer, and it's.
Yes.
But like I said, I mean, these guys, night in, night out, putting their bodies on the line just to entertain us. And Kevin Owens, who is a phenomenal wrestler, I mean, I think we all
Phenomenal.
agree. I mean, we love Kevin Owens. We love how watching him where I wish I would have gotten into like watched some of his ROH days, and then when he got into NXT. But I
Oh yeah,
remember
yeah,
like when he got
yeah.
the call up. I mean, right off the bat, he's feuding with with John Cena, and there was something about I'm like, wow, I really like this guy, and it was like I want to say it was the first night he debuted, or maybe the week or the Monday after,
Mm-hmm.
and it was after he did the the pop up power bomb on Cena, and he took the U.S. title when Cena was champion. He was the NXT champion at the time.
Yes, yes.
He took and when he put his foot on the U.S. title while Cena was laying there, and he raised up the NXT title. I'm like, that guy's going to be a star. He had star written all over him, and I mean, I was so happy to see him and Cody at Royal Rumble. Got to see him live wrestle, and but I mean, like, it's neck injuries are not anything to play around with either. I mean,
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
it could make the way the injury is, it could be a career ender, and we don't know how long he's going to be out.
Yep.
So we wish Kevin Owens, we wish you the best, speedy recovery, and hopefully you get to retire on your terms. And
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely, no doubt about it.
so now that leaves Randy Orton without a match right now. And we had a tease last night on SmackDown of where it could have potentially been Nick Aldis. And I think at the end, I think they're going the route of, well, Solo Sikoa. My theory is that we're gonna get Aldis and Orton soon. But I'm guessing they're either like it's a slow burn to either SummerSlam. Uh-oh. It says the recording has stopped. Hold on, what's going on here? Oh, internet problems. Gotta love the internet.
Oh yeah. Is Aldis
Maybe
even
it's
a good wrestler?
what's that?
Nick Aldis even a good wrestler?
Oh, he was great.
See, I can't remember him, man.
He was big in uh TNA. He won the world title there.
I may have seen him. I can't really.
Right. He's I mean, and I had to laugh at the shot at Mickey James.
Yeah.
That was because he's married to Mickey James. But it was absolutely funny. But I mean, like, Randy, though, I mean, like, there were some interesting things that Aldis was saying that I was thinking that maybe he was maybe leading into that direction. Especially when he had said, uh, "I am I'm obligated to keep my composure."
Hmm.
Very interesting terms there, and I thought maybe
Mhm.
they were going into that direction.
Right, right.
But then I came out Solo and yeah guy.
I like Tonga,
So
man. I
Yeah.
like Tonga. He's starting to groom himself.
he's
Yeah.
starting to grow on you,
Yeah, just a little bit. Fatu is already. He's gonna be something,
He's
man.
he's a
right?
beast, man. I
And we're
love
gonna
Fat.
we're gonna get we're gonna get to that pretty soon here. Uh, but do you guys think that we're gonna get a Randy Aldis match down the line? I mean, it seems to be that the seeds are starting to be planted.
I think so, possibly. But you know what? To be honest with you, I think Randy's running out of time. There's just like
Hmm.
I just feel with Randy Orton, he's he's never great solo. He let to a certain point, but I don't see him being anything bigger than you got Roman, you got all these different guys. I don't see him carrying that belt. I just don't. And
Right.
I think his career is coming to a close where he'll just be that known as that legend killer. Any legend, he'll try to get that one up on him, and that's it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's I
Yeah.
don't see it in the cards for him as holding that belt and delivering the championship to the WWE fans and holding on to it for a long time. I don't see it.
Right. What about you there, A-DAM?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with Hollywood. I don't, but then a part of me kind of feels like maybe like he could go. I still feel like I want to see him and Cody have something. They used to be together, and I would like to see him turn heel one last time before he does
Mm,
retire and turn on Cody. You know, maybe help him out later a little bit down the line, and then they're in the ring, and then he just turns on him to set up a match or something like that.
right.
But I mean, he's in good shape. He can still do it. He's still good at what he does. But like you said, Hollywood, like you got some good stars that I can't
Yeah.
see him passing them. I think Roman's just, dude, as good as his run was, it's like I could see them doing more. Like honest, and it's like you can't at the time. It's like how much more can you do? But it's like when he's gone, that's when you really see how how great he was, and it was like,
Yes. Yes.
dude,
Yes.
they can do more with him now, and you got him, and then um, Cena doing what he did. He's got just the last run, but one like the best heel turn of all time, I would
No
put,
Mm,
doubt. No doubt.
and but you know, yeah, I could see him. Like I said, I want to wait and see if he does turn heel and turn on Cody. I would like to see that, and then after that, maybe retire. But
okay.
Yeah.
Interesting stuff. But do you want to see Randy Orton and Nick Aldis? I mean, I know I do.
I would like to see it just to
hmm
see what it's about. Um, but will it really? I mean, it'll draw for that one. I don't think they'll want two and three.
Right.
You know, um, it just is what it is. Because even like Altus was getting moved around. You know what I mean? Now,
Right.
I would like to see. Now, I really believe that Orton could do some duels with, L.A. Knight.
Mm,
hmm
That's there. You hold the Intercontinental belt. You know what I'm saying? But
right.
there's so many high end guys come. Even like when you look at Solo, where do you fit Solo? You were up there calling yourself the tribal chief. Ever since that got taken, you just kind of blended in like everybody else. You're
hmm
trying to
Yeah. I mean,
really,
I feel like that. Obviously, because I mean, with everything that's happened with Cody or with Kevin Owens right now, I mean, they're kind of like trying to throw something together, and it just seems to be that because this is supposed to be Randy Orton's 20th WrestleMania now, which I did not know until last night's show. It just seems like now they're just kind of going to use Solo Sokoa as like the sacrificial lamb, because I mean there's like when he came out. I mean, to me, there's story there with Aldis and Orton, because I mean, like you can, they've kind of like went at each other a little bit. I mean, going back to last year's RKO on Aldis, and the fact that he paid double to for the future, and he used it up last night. It just, I mean, like I feel more of like the story there with Aldis and Orton, but I guess you really don't want to make a makeshift match between the two, because you want to kind of continue that story. So, in order
hmm
for Orton to get his 20th Mania match, I mean, I guess you're going to have to throw in a guy that was on top. It was basically on top of the world last year, and just went crashing down after the War Games match back in November.
how about this? What if you had Randy Orton versus Triple H one last time? The
It
Hall
it
of
can't
Fame.
happen. It can't happen because Triple H retired because he's got that heart issue. Or I mean, if it wasn't for that, I mean, yeah, I'd be all for it.
Because you remember when he won the title, and then Triple H gave him the down. Randy never forgot that.
Right, right,
You know, you used me, and then you
right.
took my title from me.
But see, and with Triple H, I mean, like that's on along in the lines that he didn't retire on his own terms because I mean he had that heart problem. But
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I said, I mean I get it. The story was there, unless you find you could do a story where Orton and Trips are feuding. I mean, because there's other ways of getting around it without a match between the two. Like Triple H could have henchmen go out or
yeah,
have a heel Orton and just somebody that is willing to wrestle on behalf of Triple H. I mean that there can be stories there, but I mean like I said, I mean like we're talking 1 week from today, as of this recording, is night one of WrestleMania.
what about a
So it's
Brock
kind of
Lesnar?
see, I don't know because I don't know what's going on with Brock. I mean, I guess Brock had supposedly told somebody like a week or two ago that he's retired from wrestling. I mean, I don't know, but Brock was more of a Vince guy, and I know there's been stories out there that Brock really don't want to come back as under Triple H because he's more of a Vince McMahon and
Yeah,
or
yeah,
Vince
I can
McMahon
see that.
guy. But
Yeah,
I mean, there is the rumors of Vince McMahon somewhere down the line going to start his own promotion. Maybe Brock's holding off because he knows he'll be a star in that new wrestling promotion. So I mean,
yeah,
something to kind of keep an eye on. I mean, on that on that boat, we'll see. I mean, but I could see maybe Brock never coming back to WWE because he just Vince he was a Vince guy. I mean, I mean he's involved in that lawsuit with that, we're not going to say her name, but everybody knows what's going on with the
yeah,
Vince McMahon situation,
yeah,
Yeah.
There's enough out there.
absolutely.
Adam, got anything to add to it?
Now, I think that if they would have brought him back, I think they would have already have done it. Um, but yeah, I can't see Brock really. I don't see him coming back. I wouldn't mind seeing it, but like you said, he's more of the Vince guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is what it is. But
Right. I
Yeah,
mean, like I said earlier, though, or like I said, I mean, it's very possible that he's just holding off until if Vince opens up a wrestling promotion.
correct.
We darn well know Brock Lesnar will probably go there, and he will be the absolute centerpiece of that promotion.
Yeah,
yeah, but
So
you also got to think about it too, though. Like it's like, huh, did you ever think CM Punk was gonna come back? I
yeah,
don't.
yeah, I mean that's fair.
All
But
he
CM,
did was.
but CM Punk though didn't come back until Vince left though.
right.
So
Yeah,
that
but still, when he was talking about not coming back, he was kind of throwing the shades of like, you know, he was, putting kind of Triple H in with that, like
yeah, yeah,
about marrying you know, the
yeah,
daughter of
yeah,
Vince,
yeah.
he put stuff like that in there, so he was kind of throwing a little bit of shade at Triple H in
Well,
some way.
I will
But
say this: Triple H or CM Punk officially proved himself wrong when he said that this company would go under with that doofus son-in-law.
that's
Boy,
what,
was he
yeah,
wrong!
but. Hmm.
Boy, was he wrong! All right, fellas, let's go ahead and talk some predictions and matches that are coming up. So let's talk about the night one lineup. Well, we'll talk about both lineups real quick. So night one, the Saturday lineup of WrestleMania 41.
Uh-huh.
We have Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano, Naomi versus Jade Cargill, the WWE tag titles between the War Raiders and the New Day. The United States Championship is on the line. The WWE Women's Championship is on the line. The World Heavyweight Championship is on the line. And then, obviously, the main event being Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins versus CM Punk, which at this time has Paul Heyman in Punk's corner. And then Sunday's lineup will feature AJ Styles and Logan Paul. A Sin City street fight that was announced just the other day between Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest.
Mm-hmm.
We have the Women's Tag Team Championship between Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez taking on Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. The WWE Intercontinental Championship, the Women's World Championship, and then to end all of WrestleMania will be Cody Rhodes defending his title against John Cena. So let's go ahead and start off at night one. Let's start off with the first match that we have, Rey Mysterio and El Grande Americano. Boy, I wonder who that guy is. Who is that guy? I mean
Not
that
not Chad Gable.
it's not Chad. Yep, it's not Chad Gable. So what is your predictions for this match, and where do you see the direction? Do you guys like the build that's been going on with this match lately?
I mean, it's all right. You know, the smaller guys like that. You know, I'm into more of the bigger dudes.
Right.
The bigger, you know, like I think even like Ray. Ray is kind of running his course as well. His son, I believe, and I was saying this the other day, he's going to be a good champion in the next 4 or 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Just because he's been in the system so long, we watched him as a kid participating with his dad. I believe the other luchador, he's going to win. He's going to beat Ray. And I just think Ray needs to just kind of turn over and go retire, and because you like Penda, you see him, look how awesome that guy is. You're
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
going to beat this guy. These
No.
guys are getting a little bit bigger, and you know, you had your run. Now, you know, it's kind of almost like, it reminds me like the Goldberg. You know, why call you back? You know what I mean?
Right.
You'll
Mm-hmm.
ruin your legacy. So before you do that, just go. You know, and I think time is really running out on Ray. I'm going the
Right.
other guy, no doubt about it.
El
Yeah.
Grande Americano.
Yes, yes.
Yes. I would have to agree. I think that, like you said, I don't think Rey Mysterio has much left in the tank.
Because what are you going to carry? You know what I mean? You're going to carry the company? No, you're not going to.
No.
Not even in the smaller dude. There's too many good guys coming up
Mm-hmm.
that are hungry.
Now, did you guys really enjoy like the presentation of the El Grande Americano, like when they were building up to the debut? I mean, like that stuff was not AI. I mean, we all know that wasn't AI. That was all real. I mean, El Grande Americano is the greatest Mexican luchador that's ever come out of Mexico.
Yes.
I mean, the man is from the Gulf of America. Yeah, the Gulf of America. I mean, he's not Chad Gable.
No.
So, I mean, this is great. I mean, like I am absolutely enjoying the presentation of El Grande Americano. I love the direction they're going with it right now.
Yes, yes, yes.
And and of course, I'm going to sidetrack a little bit. The IWC, the basement dwellers of the IWC who don't get it, absolutely hate it. No surprise there, but I'm going to stop it at that. But I mean, I was enjoying Raw when he was in that 6-man tag with the Creed brothers
Yeah,
taking
yeah,
on the LWO.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when was the last? I mean, like I can't remember a time ever like somebody putting something in their mask, loading up their mask, and using it as a weapon. I mean, to me, that's like the first time I've ever seen it. I'm
That's a
sure it's
Ric Flair,
happened
the
plenty.
Nature Boy Ric Flair move. You know what I
Right.
mean? But
I
in
mean, I'm
his
sure it's
hand, both.
happened plenty of times in Mexico, but like for me being an American audience who doesn't really watch Mexican wrestling, because
Right,
I mean we don't have a lot of that. To me, that was new,
right.
and that was awesome. I mean, it was like that was
Yes,
genius.
yes. You know, Ric Flair would always get something thrown in, but his would go in the trunk, so you wouldn't see it. And you're like, how's he knocking this guy out? He just happened to go
Right.
right to the mask, and that was sweet.
That was awesome.
Yes.
I so are we all in agreement? We're going with El Grande Americano.
Yeah.
El Grande Americano, absolutely.
All right.
Oh, good.
So there's a clean sweep there for the first match. Now, an interesting one that involves two women, Naomi and Jade Cargill. Now, this is one of probably two of the women matches that I'm actually really intrigued and cannot wait to see.
Right.
Um, the build up to this is obviously Naomi pushed Jade into the windshield of a car, knocking her out, and basically stealing her spot as the women's tag team champion with Bianca Belair.
Absolutely.
I mean, to me, and then when she's been out for quite some time, she really like really selling it. Jade was, and then she shows up at Elimination Chamber last month at the very beginning of the women's Elimination Chamber, and just takes out Naomi, which starts this absolute glorious build to this feud. Um, this one I'm a little tossed up on, but I'll let you guys begin first. Hollywood? Um, where do you see this match going, and who are you predicting to win in this match?
Oh man, you know I think Cargill's going to pull it out just for the simple fact of everything went through. But I love the character.
Yeah,
What her name has turned into.
Naomi.
Naomi, and
Mm.
then she went after Bianca, and told her, I did this for you. I did this
Oh,
for you. I mean, it really just changed her because she was kind of, if you looked at it, she sat back door to them. You know what I
right,
mean? So you could see where the jealousy came in. So like, hey, where do I belong? Where do I
right.
belong? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
She had the bright lights and all that stuff like that. Get away from that. Now she's becoming a good heel, which I don't see enough of her. But the fact is, compared to the other ones, I could see her beating Cargo too, though. On a trick move,
Right.
with a little help or something like that. So if I had to put I would say her over Cargo in a
You're
cheap
taking
spot
Naomi?
or something like that. Yes, I'd
Yeah.
say
Okay.
to keep that stigma still there and that tension going.
What about you there, Adam? What do you think?
I I agree with a lot of the things you said. I do think Cargill's gonna win, but I think it's gonna be a really good match. This is the Naomi I've been waiting to see. I think
Yes.
she's gotten I think she's gotten so much better, and I think this is gonna be a really good match, to be honest. And I think that sometimes you you can have that good match and you can lose, but it's that other person that really lifts you up and puts you to that next level.
Oh
Even though
yeah,
Naomi
absolutely. I agree.
even though Naomi loses, I think that this is just the beginning. I think she's gonna be even better. I think she's gonna be in the spotlight pretty soon. But this is just one of the this is just one of the bumps in the road. Um, but yeah, I think Cargo wins, but I think that I think there's gonna be more to it. I think it's gonna build the storyline more,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mhm.
um, and then I think Naomi's gonna come out on top eventually. That's what
Yeah,
I
Mhm.
think.
I'd
But
see her
Cargo
being a
will win.
champion.
Yeah.
Yeah, this might be one of those rare occasions where like this is actually like normally WrestleMania you kind of like end storylines for the most part. I mean, like that's where a lot of your storylines end. But this one's just beginning. I mean, like Naomi, who is showing shades of her father-in-law Rikishi with I did it for Bianca.
Yeah.
And I mean, but like I love the direction this is going, and it's gonna like we're gonna be talking about the women's triple threat match, for night 2 coming up here with Bianca, because Bianca, I still think Bianca, there's a lot to do or to be intertwined with Bianca still too, with Jade and Naomi.
Oh yeah,
But like I said, I mean, like this one to me, it's such a toss up, but I think this is there's going to be, even after WrestleMania, there's still going to be a lot of meat on that bone for that match, with this feud. So, uh,
Hmm.
something we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna keep an eye on. Can't wait to see. Right now, I'm just gonna, and like I said, to me, it's such a toss up.
yeah,
But gun to my head, I'm probably gonna go Jade this time around. But I wouldn't be surprised if Naomi gets the win too, because I mean we're starting this feud, and I think
Hmm.
eventually, like I said, with Jade, I still think there's going to be something involved with Bianca. But like I said, we'll talk
yeah.
about
Yeah.
Bianca. We'll talk about that match in a bit, because I mean, like I said, with Bianca, it's a very interesting um t- turn of events that's intertwined here. Now, we had a match for the WWE World Tag Team titles on Monday between the War Raiders and the New Day. And the War Raiders the New Day had won by disqualification, even though Xavier Woods brought in the chair. I forget who it was that ended up using the chair though on the War Raiders. If I think it was Ivar. So now, because New Day technically got a win, but they didn't win the titles, they now
Right.
get this shot at WrestleMania. Now, this build, it's a couple weeks old, but I mean, it's working for me a little bit, because I mean, like, especially the New Day, uh, the way the New Day is now. Um, Hollywood, would you like to start off with this one?
Yeah. Both of them are kind of boring. You know what I mean? And when I say that, because I look at all the other tag team champions now, and contenders. Um, I bar them. I think they're plateauing. You know what I'm saying? And I
Mm.
like where the New Day's going with this, the turn on Big E and all that stuff like that. I think they're going to win the title. I
Hmm.
believe that. Um, and I just see it. How they're turning Kofi and what's his name, Woods. And I've always thought Woods should have been Intercontinental Champion. And
Hmm.
Mm.
I believe they're in a good position right here where they're going to beat them. I believe it.
Right.
Absolutely. And then be like, hey, listen, even more, shots at Big E. You know, we got this. We don't need you. You know what I'm saying? Which is an awful thing, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? And it's that
Right.
turning heel. Yeah, I go with them, man.
Adam?
Okay, we gotta just think this is WrestleMania, and there are things that happen that we don't always expect. I do think the New Day are gonna win, but I think they're gonna win. I think Big E will help them win. I think he's gonna come
Ooh.
back. He's gonna
Wow.
interfere, not actually maybe get in the ring, but do something to help New Day win, and then they're gonna and then Big E is gonna get up and say that he let them down by getting injured, but this is a new day, and I'm a new Big E, and I'm helping them win the tag titles. That's what I think.
Huh.
Nice.
I
Nice.
didn't even think of that. Wow, you really thought this one through, didn't you, Adam?
It's just I every time I think about the New Day, and I see what they did when they turned on Big E and how the crowd reacted. Just imagine how bad the crowd is going to react if Big E joins them. Just
Hmm.
think about it. It's something that's like, dude, they did all that, said all that, and then you're going to go back and help them.
Mm-hmm.
And I, to me, like, this is what I think. I kind of hope this happens. I could be wrong, but if this happens, dude, I would love the direction they can go.
And then maybe have
See,
some new bootios.
Hmm.
yeah. See, I don't know. I mean, like, I like where you're going with it, and I could see that, but the problem is though is that Big E is so beloved. That's what made the heel turn with the New Day go, work so well.
Yes.
You know? So like I still think they're going to win the tag titles, but I don't know how they're gonna go. I mean, Adam, when we met Big E back, it's been 2 years now since we met him.
Yeah,
Nicest guy in the world, you
yeah,
know.
but that doesn't always, things change. Things
Ah,
change.
well, I
And
hope you're wrong.
no, I look what Cena did. Look what Cena did. No one ever. Who would have thought
Oh,
that
you had
his
to pull that
last?
card.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, you baby face. I had
oh
to.
my gosh, good grief. Oh, can't wait for Hollywood to knock you out. I mean,
Oh,
oh man, dude, I don't want that to happen. Please
All I
don't let
can
yeah.
that
say
happen.
is I can
Please.
say is
I.
this. What a great show. And for the ones that ain't going to be there, they're going to really miss a great event.
Hmm.
Oh yeah.
No
Yeah,
doubt
so
about it.
but if you can't make it on the Fives of the Week Facebook page and on their YouTube page, they will be live streaming this show. So come and see us. We're going to be at T3 Fitness. It's at 14 Mile and Groesbeck area in Fraser. Don't have the address right off the top of my head. You can get, but if you want to come to the show and watch me beat Mo Money Mike and watch A-DAM knock out Hollywood Applesnatch here, you can get a hold of Mo Money Mike. What's Mo Money Mike's phone number, Hollywood?
I don't have it offhand.
No.
Okay, we'll have the number in
But
our
it's out there. It's out
little.
there.
It's out
Yeah.
there, and we'll have, like I said, we'll have the number on our comment section in the description below for our shows. Uh, but you can, if you get a hold of Mo Money Mike, you can get the tickets for $15 in advance, but they will go up to $20 at the door the day of the show.
Yes.
We will have 50-50. We will have some comedy entertainment. We will have a musical performance, and we're still going to have people sparring too, right?
Yes.
In
Yes.
between. Okay,
Yes.
so it will be at T3 Fitness, 14 Mile and Groesbeck area in Fraser,
On the west
May
side.
on the west side of, yeah, thank you, of Groesbeck. It's on Groesbeck on the west side, just north of 14 Mile. If you know the area, the Concentra, if you know where that Concentra is, it's actually in that same parking lot, but on the opposite building where Concentra is. That's where T3 Fitness is. We would love to see you guys there. We're gonna put on a great show, and that will be the night that Mo Money Mike will not be will lose his podcasting career, and A-DAM will take over, and Hollywood will enjoy having A-DAM as new host. So, all right.
Man. Good
But
stuff.
please, I mean, like I said, but if you can't make it, like I said, the Fives of the Week will graciously put the show SWA Die For Something will be on Facebook and on YouTube on their channel, and we will be live streaming it. And then if you can't watch it live stream, well, we'll have the show up later down the line. So
Yes. Best we can do.
best we can do.
Yes.
All right. Enough about our show right now. Getting back into WrestleMania. Now, the third match that they have set up or lined up for on WrestleMania Night 1, the WWE United States Championship. LA Knight
Yeah.
taking on the Tribal Wolf, Jacob Fatu. Very
Mm.
interesting matchup here. Um, A-DAM, let's start off with you on this. Where do you see this one going in your mind?
Mm. I see. I can see. I can see Fatu winning, but I don't know if he's actually gonna win the title. I think he's just gonna destroy LA Knight, put him out of his misery. Um,
Hmm.
but I think it's gonna be like a disqualification because I just think Fatu, like, he's a beast. He's an animal. He's
Can't
got
control himself.
star he's got star potential. He's got that it factor. He's gonna be that top dog within the next couple years, I think, one of them to compete for that. But that's where I think it's gonna go. I think it's gonna be like a disqualification, but I think he's gonna do it to him what he did to Braun and just totally destroy him
Mm.
and put him out of his misery.
Now, Hollywood, I know you're really high on this guy. I think we all are, but you in particular, you're really high on Jacob Fatu.
Yeah, I really like
You,
Fatu, man.
now, where do you see this match going? Who do you got in your mind right now? Winning the U.S. title match.
Uh, I'm kind of on the lines of Adamu. But I think what's going to happen, like outside interference, where LA Knight's going to win the title, but Fatu's going to win the battle. I got a feeling Strowman may show up and that cause a ruckus, and then he just
Mhm.
tears the place apart. With the mind off the title, but given the beating. And then go after LA like that, but after he's already won it, and then go after Strowman again. You know what I'm saying? For
Right.
whatever. I think that's going to be a big distraction because Strowman wanted to be in that match. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
Okay.
I believe that's going to go
that's
down
a
like
good
that,
point.
and he's just not shined enough, polished enough. I believe. So to take that away from LA Knight, I think right now, just not now. I'm gonna go with LA Knight.
Okay.
LA Knight.
Yeah,
Yeah. Um. See, I'm gonna go along the lines of what you're going with,
Okay.
Hollywood right now. I still think I think LA Knight wins, but now let's kind of take a little retrospect back a little bit. So last year and the year before, Solo was the the man who was the hitman basically for Roman.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now when Jacob Fatu debuted last year, though, and we were all in awe because I mean, like we didn't. I'm sure we didn't watch. I'm sure you didn't watch any of his MLW stuff. I know Adam hasn't. I haven't. But
mm,
from what I was reading about it before he was coming in, like there was a lot of high hopes on this guy. And then when he debuted, and I know for me, I was like, wow, this guy is going to be a superstar. I mean, like that first night, I go, he's a future world champion. And I do believe that he took a lot of that shine away because I mean remember it was all about Solo. I mean and we're not talking about like storyline or anything, but like do you remember there was a time we were talking a couple years ago, Sal, in one of the preview shows? I mean like we were pretty all high on Solo,
Yeah.
but now Jacob comes in
yeah,
and Jacob just like I think he took the spotlight from Solo,
Oh yeah, I
like
agree. I'll
totally
agree with you
agree.
100% right there. You see
you
it.
know, and I don't know if it's just because maybe Solo's character just plateaued and it just kind of got stale, or maybe it ended up being that Solo really needed to be in the Bloodline 1.0, like the original Bloodline. Um, Now when it comes to the storyline, I do believe though that Solo might be the one that will end up screwing Jacob because you could have that jealousy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Where Solo,
Absolutely.
and, and it does seem like that the seeds are there, like they've been building on it. I mean, it's really interesting that a few weeks back, Solo's like, "Here, you could take my U.S. title spot." You know, very interesting stuff. So I don't know. I mean, they're gonna. I'm sure they're building something between Jacob and Solo, where like they just kick out Jacob out of the group, and Jacob goes on his own and feuds with Solo, but I mean, like I said, we were all high on Solo at one time, like thinking that
Yeah.
he's going to be a star, and it just like Jacob comes in and just plateaus the whole thing, and ends up everybody's now talking. I mean, we're talking everybody's talking about Jacob Fatu, and his brother Zilla's supposed to be coming in soon.
Yeah, and I think,
in the WWE. And
yeah, that Solo, when he needed to win that tribal chief, he needed to win the Ulafala. And when he didn't, Fatu looked at him like, how you calling Roman a failure? You failed the family as well. I
Yeah.
think that's where he kind of
right,
lost a little respect for him. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
yeah,
You didn't do what you were supposed to do. So now he's kind of doing his own thing, if we notice. And him and Solo kind of had a little spit bat in the back when he told him, you do you, I'll do me.
right,
And you know what I'm saying? You see it because Solo has really dropped from being up there with when he was taking over. He's really dropped big time.
Yeah.
He don't look
yeah,
like any type of threat anymore of anything. So
right,
yeah, it's gonna be and there's some other person still out there we haven't mentioned.
yeah, yep. I agree with that. Something's coming down the line there. So, um, let's just. I mean, I don't think anybody cares about this match because this build has been terrible. The WWE Women's Championship match. Let's just pick winners. Uh, I don't know. I'm gonna go Charlotte Flair.
No, I'm going with Tiffy time. That's my babe. Tiffy time. Charlotte, you're
Yeah.
washed up, babe. Go home with all that surgery you had. You look
Mhm.
like a total different person. It's horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude, I
you're done.
totally agree.
Tiffy
I
time. It's
totally.
Tiffy time.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, yeah, I mean, just to be like I said, we're not going to spend a lot of time on this because this build's been terrible. Their
Yeah.
promo last week was awful. Uh, yeah, I'm not. This is probably the least out of all the matches on both nights. This is the match that I'm not look. I mean, I'm not saying they're not going to have a good match.
Right.
I'm just not invested in this match.
Exactly.
If that makes
No.
any sense for me, you
And it's
know.
crazy. It's crazy because it's not like on Tiffy. It's on Charlotte, the one who's been in the spotlight and who has been at the
Right.
top. It's like she's just getting dull, and it's like, and the way, like you said, Hollywood with the work she's gotten done. I thought I'd seen her back in my science class when I was in high school. It's all
Right.
skeleton.
Right. I almost didn't
It's
recognize her. I'm like, are
crazy,
you
man.
kidding me?
Yeah.
Don't even look like her.
No, and I know, like, and she's with the divorce too. It's she, maybe this divorce with from Andrade
Andrade.
is affecting her.
I,
I mean,
I
the one,
just heard that. I just heard that the other day about that.
yeah. I mean, out of all the divorces, this is the one that's affecting her the most. I mean, maybe she really loved Andrade. I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
But it's a sad thing because Charlotte, this is one of two matches that are not headlining WrestleMania that were Royal Rumble winners, and
Hmm.
it doesn't. I'm not invested in this match,
No.
and
No.
like I said, I'm not. But I will say, like I said earlier, but I'm not denying that this match is going to. It won't be a good match. I do believe. I mean, there's still two capable women
Hmm.
that can still potentially steal the show. I mean, they're both, I mean, like Charlotte's the veteran. Tiffany has been around for a few years now. I mean, a couple years, but I mean, like, it's possible. I mean, they could have a really good match, but I don't know. That might be the old school bathroom break, in my
Yeah.
opinion. I
Mm.
don't,
I think
know,
somebody will
and like I
interfere in
said,
that match too.
I don't know who would interfere in that match. That's the question.
I just think
There's
that the
nothing
girls
really
they don't
lined
really
up.
care for Flair. They don't care for her anymore. You know what I mean?
I mean,
They don't respect her.
right,
They want her out. Like, why are
right.
you even here? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, she is getting a lot of go away heat. You're right.
Yeah.
Like that
Yeah.
what was called X-Pac, X-Pac heat when back in the day, she's really getting that. It's wow.
Yeah.
It and she, like I said before, I mean, she's capable, she's a great athlete, but I don't know. I mean, it's just, Andy, in our group text a couple days ago, kind of said that maybe for Charlotte, what's going to come down to is when the old man passes away. because I
Yeah,
mean, maybe she's still feeling like she's living in that shadow or something like
yeah.
that.
You're riding on the
And
coattails. You're riding on the coattails of Ric Flair,
right,
but he's out there to
Yeah.
embarrass himself.
but for me, like my opinion though is that Charlotte's been around enough time. She doesn't need to ride those coattails.
Right.
No.
Like she's done enough where she can do this on her own without Daddy.
Exactly.
Kind
I
of
just
kind of
think.
like along the lines of Damien and Ray.
Yeah.
Charlotte's had great matches without she does, and maybe it's just in her head that I'm still like living on Rick's coattails.
Yeah.
And you met Dominic and Ray, right? You said
Yeah,
Damien.
or Dom. I'm sorry, Dom, not
Right.
Dom.
Damien.
Dom.
Dom,
Dom.
Thank you,
Dom.
Adam.
But
Dom,
Dom.
yeah,
Dom.
that's right when you brought up her. That's like right when you brought up her and Ric Flair is like yeah,
Yeah,
but like Dom and Ray, like they're Dom is just I don't know what he's become.
right.
It's great, but
Great
yeah,
Well,
heel.
we'll get to that. That's on night 2. So, all
hmm
right, moving on. The other Rumble winner, the men's Royal Rumble winner, Jey Uso, using his WrestleMania or his Royal Rumble contract on Gunther.
Goontar.
Now, now, early on, to me, this match was really lacking. There was a lot. I didn't like. It wasn't. I don't know. I was having a hard time trying, like, even being invested in this match.
Yes.
These last 2 weeks, wow, was exactly what it was the kickstart that this rivalry needed. This match, and now I'm back on invested. Hollywood, another guy you're really high on, Gunther.
I got to say
Uh,
Goontar all day long.
is he losing the title?
No, absolutely not. He is the
thank you.
premier Bret Hart supersized. He is the all around wrestler.
Ooh,
Just the technician. He's got it all. He's got that, the general of that, represent, his country, period, whether you like it or not. I just think
right.
Jey Uso has ran out of the yeet and off of Roman and all that stuff like that. I don't see it happening. I see you getting beat just like Jimmy did.
hmm
And Gunther reigns until maybe Gunther down the road has to pay homage to Roman Reigns. But Gunther all day, no doubt. I would be very surprised if Uso was to beat him. I'd be like,
Mm,
come on, because the technician that man is,
hmm
he's excellent. He is
right.
excellent. Gunther.
Adam.
Yeah, I agree. I just can't see Jay being that top guy to take him down. To me, if Jay wins, it would be like one of the bigger mistakes that Triple H has made. Gun- Gunther, he's just too good. He's and it's just the full body of work that he's done. He came in, he was heavy set, like you see
Yeah.
pictures when he first came in to now. It's like a different human.
Yes.
He's a monster now. He's good on the mic. He's good in the ring. Um, there's not much he can't do. I just think that he's at the top of his game, and I don't think there's too many guys that can be in that spotlight with him. And
Right.
there's not too many guys that can take the belt from him. I don't think Jay's the guy to do it. He's a tag team guy. He's not the guy that
Absolutely. I agree.
um I know that me and you agree on it, that, and yeah, he's a great guy. Like you said, the Yeet is going out of style,
Yeah.
but
Too much.
Gunther, man, that guy, he's one of my favorites. He's the top guy. He's the real deal, and he's gonna
He's like a
win.
cyborg, man. That's what he reminds me of, a
Mhm.
cyborg.
Yes.
I mean, it was really like, talk about a huge surprise at Royal Rumble. When Jay eliminates John Cena. Like,
Yes.
I really thought it won. I mean, and Mo Money and I were there. You know, and along
I know
with
we
Mr.
hear about it all the
Ferrara and
time.
yeah, I know, and our friends Mike Gribben and Josh Rayon, who follow him on 313 Smark on X. Uh, I mean, like we all thought at one point that when it was just Jay and Cena, it's like great. They're going to give Cena the Rumble win on his last year. All right, whatever, fine. But then Jay eliminates Cena, and like I'll admit, I put my arms up high. I was like, yeah. And it was cool seeing like, 60, 70,000 people. We're all just yeeting. That was awesome.
Yeah.
But
It
then
wasn't
like, like I
expected.
said earlier, what's that?
I said it wasn't
What'd you say, Adam?
expected. I said
Right.
it wasn't
Right.
expected. So, like, that's what really drew us to it. We were like, dude, this is great.
Right.
But then,
Now, but like I said, it kind of like went stale and like, and it's really bad. Like I really like Gunther, so I think we all agree. We all like Gunther. We're all big Gunther fans.
Yes.
But I mean, like when I'm not getting invested because it's just like, what are they doing to really get me intrigued into this match? And then you had the attack almost 2 weeks ago
yeah.
of Gunther on Jimmy, while he had Jay tied up, and just that blood that just ended up being on Gunther's body. Like that was a
Mhm.
spectacle. That was
See how
that was the
how he licked
kickstart
his
to this.
hand and everything?
Mhm.
That
Yeah,
was like, yeah, crazy.
like this is it got the kick that it needed, and then last week with Jay's promo, like that was one of the most real promos that I can remember, and Jay nailed it. So like I'm completely on board with this. Like I cannot wait to see this match now, and that's a good thing. I'm glad that I'm back invested in this match.
Yes.
But in the end, I do think Gunther's going to win, and it's going to be clean. It's going to be a clean win, and I mean, but at this point, would I be surprised if Jay won? Probably not, because I mean, at the same time, I mean, you could still strike when when it's hot. So, but my pick is Gunther right now, and
He don't
I'm
get the beating
locking it
like
in.
Jimmy. He don't get the beating like Jimmy got.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was a beating.
Gunther's one.
That was a slaughter.
Gunther is one bad man.
One
Mhm.
bad man.
All right, and then the main event of night one: Seth Rollins taking on Roman Reigns, taking on CM Punk, where the favor was having Paul Heyman in CM Punk's corner. Now
Wow.
this was what I was hoping for, that because this was when it comes to the world heavyweight title, the women's championship, involving the two Rumble winners respectively. This match has, to me, had to be the main event for night one because there is so much going on between these three
Mhm.
men, and you can add the wise man involved in this too.
Yes.
Um, so Hollywood, we know that you're normally a huge Roman Reigns fan. Are you going with Roman, or do you have a different direction that you're gonna go?
Uh, I really, I'm confused, to be honest with you. Um, I don't know what angle they got with Roman. What they want to do with him. You know what I mean? You come
Right.
back. It's supposed to challenge. Go after Cody Rhodes. We're not there.
Mhm.
You got Seth Rollins with CM Punk. I don't like CM Punk. Never did. He's every bit of his name, Punk. Um, I could see Wise Man turning on Punk, going with Rollins, turning on Roman Reigns, and getting them
Yeah.
two together. Um, I say something's gonna happen. Roman gets screwed again with Heyman, and I think it's got to do with Rollins.
Right.
Yeah.
And
A-Dam?
then,
Oh, I'm
yeah,
sorry, Hollywood. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
no, you're good. I just think he's going to be out of the ring where he's not going to get in enough time. And once again, Rollins.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
What about you, Adam?
I've been talking to guys at work, and I totally agree with that. Um I think that Heyman's gonna come, like he's supposed to be in Punk's corner, but at the end it's the favor for Seth. I think
The
he's gonna
favorite.
join Seth, and then
Yeah.
it's gonna it's gonna be great. And then it's gonna build Seth up, and then more for Punk and Roman, maybe to do something with their. Um, but yeah, I'm excited. I think, but like I said, I think it's gonna be the Heyman Rollins, and it's
Right.
gonna shock everybody.
Yeah.
But
So it's very interesting because I've been listening to like Busted Open, because they'll put the podcast on from their show, and
Right.
Bully's been pushing for, like with Bully Ray has been pushing for, or saying that maybe it's going to be, it probably should be Rollins. And now think about it now. Rollins really is, he's been talking about Rollins being the third wheel. He was the third wheel last year. He's really the third wheel in this match, because I mean, he's the one that people don't really talk about.
Right.
I mean, like the only reason why he's over, and now he's a great athlete. I
Yeah.
I do like Seth Rollins, and I mean he's very capable and he knows how to work a match and all that.
Hmm.
But what has he got going on right now? What is he over? Is he over besides his song? Is there
it's
is there is it? Oh, go ahead, Adam. I'm sorry.
oh no, I was just gonna state that I think Seth Rollins' entrance theme is one of the best. I know how much you
Oh
love it, Gump.
gosh, hate that song so much. And believe
Yes,
me, at Royal
class,
Rumble,
the
I did
outfit.
not partake. I did not partake in that at Royal Rumble either.
I think it's got
But
to end though. The CM Punk and that, and I think that's what you're going to get to the Rollins and Roman Reigns.
right.
Hmm.
You know, for the
But like
chair
I said, I
shot.
mean, the only time he's over now is just when his song is playing. After that, he gets no reaction. Now
But he's a great wrestler though.
he's
Seth
a great
Yeah,
Rollins,
wrestler.
he's
Yeah,
a
I'm not
great wrestler.
right. I'm not denying that. But I'm just saying though, I mean, like, as of right now, you know, what has he done since he lost the world heavyweight title? What has he been really doing? He's been, you know, pissed off about, Roman Reigns. He's got his issue with CM Punk. He's been basically whiny lately.
yeah, but
Kind of
what?
like
I think he's been held back.
Yeah,
he right. But so what do you need? What do you need to get you back? Back into the main event picture to get back over that hump of like what the plateau that you've been on lately. You have to have Paul Heyman join you. I mean,
yes,
That or you have Brother Roman because he
right.
hates
Think
Punk
about
too.
think about the people that Paul Heyman has helped in the past.
Yes.
He got Brock Lesnar over. He got CM Punk over. Like he finally, like he got. I mean, like Punk was over, but like he
Right.
got him back. He really got him into that main event spotlight.
hmm
He got Roman Reigns. I mean, we were all like at one time we all couldn't stand Roman Reigns because he was being shoved down our throats.
I never. I, I
Paul
I
Heyman,
remember when I didn't like him.
right? So Paul Heyman comes in and takes over. He got Roman Reigns over. Seth Rollins, I think it's just a matter of time. What's going to happen at WrestleMania? That Paul Heyman's going to turn on both Punk and on Roman and join Seth and get
Seth
Seth
Rollins.
back and get him over and back into that main event spotlight. And
That's his
I would
favorite.
not right. I would not be surprised to also see Seth maybe join, that to join Rock and Cena in that little group too. So I mean, it's something I could see that happening because I mean, South, like I said, Seth was that third wheel in that tag match last year, the fourth wheel actually of last year's tag match.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think it would get Seth just. I mean the Rocket shoes strapped on, and he would be a superstar, and he could end up being like the most hated wrestler besides John Cena right now.
Yeah. I could see that happen.
And you can get Paul Heyman to be Paul Heyman again, where people hate Paul Heyman. So,
Yeah.
all right, so we're gonna get into night 2. Uh, AJ Styles taking on Logan Paul. I think we all can agree that we all don't like Logan Paul, but we can respect to what he's done in the
Yes.
business. Uh, who are you taking in this match?
I'm going Logan Paul. I think Styles is done. I
Hmm.
think that his biggest chance was when I gave him so much credit when he fought The Undertaker in that
Okay.
burial match when they were outside. I thought Undertaker pushed him over he really, really got my respect. And then he just kind of back and forth and faded out, jumped around a little bit.
Okay.
So I think Logan Paul, that kid has got the ability. And he draws the fans. He just, the smile when you boo him. He loves it. So, and his wrestling skills are unbelievable. I just think
Yeah.
Styles is done, man. There's no room for him. His character is been bland. Um, and you see Logan Paul has rised. So I believe
Okay.
he fought Roman. He's fought a lot of these big fighters. So I think, I think he's going to beat him, Logan Paul.
Okay. Adam, you take over real quick. I gotta plug in this computer here. So go ahead and
All
with your
right.
predictions.
Yeah, I think that I think AJ has a little bit left in him. I don't think he has a lot, but
Mm.
I just love I love what, like you said, what Logan Paul has done. It's like he's been doing it for so long, but he hasn't.
The kid's
It's like
good.
he is just like I said, every time he gets in the ring, he does something else that impresses me. It's more and more, and I think he's just gonna get better. But I
Yeah.
I think AJ Styles might actually win though. But I just don't think AJ has much left in him. But I think he's taking time off. I think he's getting himself better, in better shape for this match. But um, yeah, I think AJ Styles will win, but I don't think he's got much longer.
Yeah. It's where do you fit? You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? I mean, that's the problem I got. Where do you fit at? Are we to keep going around you and going around? It don't make any sense to me. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to. It has to sell. You know, I would love to see Gable and Styles an event
That would
back
be
and forth.
awesome.
You know,
Yeah.
because they got that stigma, both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, uh, you know, Dom, he's just not physically. He reminds me of a boy with a mustache.
Yeah.
He's just not physically built yet to hang with a lot of these guys. Uh, but yeah, I just see Logan Paul, and it just how long is he going to stay? You know,
Mm-hmm.
but he's got all the abilities. He's got all the abilities to be even win the title. I just think he's not big enough. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? To win the heavyweight title. Could he win it one day? Absolutely, but
Mm-hmm.
just not now. But he owns AJ Styles, no doubt about it.
Okay. I'm coming, guys. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're right.
So, man, just trying to find a plug around here. It's almost like trying to find a turbo, man.
Oh yeah,
So, yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Logan Paul. Uh, I think it's just time for I mean, like I love AJ and I respect everything he does, but I think he's at that stage that he's going to start putting over the younger talent because I
Yeah.
think he only has maybe like 2 or 3 years left in his contract because he's on his last contract ever.
Wow.
He's not going to renew with WWE and he's not going to sign with anybody else. So I think he's in that stage where he's going to start putting over people, which is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
And he's still capable too. I mean, but I mean, like he's
Yeah.
still able to, like you ask for a match, he'll give it to you. So it's one that I'm intrigued. I can't wait, and I'm sure it's going to open up night two, and it should.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I said, as much as we don't like Logan Paul, I respect everything that he's done because he doesn't take he's taking this serious,
Oh,
Yeah.
no doubt
and
about it. And the
I
guy can
can
legitimately wrestle. He can wrestle.
right like we've had his we've talked about it in the past. We've had celebrities wrestle before, but Logan Paul, like that's awesome that he's been able to take it so seriously.
Yeah.
And
And he goes and beats Ricochet. Like Ricochet's no longer around. You know what
well,
I mean? He's not going to come back to the WWE. You know what I'm
Ricochet's a
saying?
whole different. Let,
Yeah.
that's a whole nother subject there with him, and
Yeah.
I mean, he's not. He goes to AEW, and he just becomes. You. I know we're getting a little off track, but since you brought up Ricochet, he actually has said he's come out this week and said that He claimed that WWE wouldn't listen to any of his ideas.
Exactly.
So
I heard that.
everything that's going on in AEW was his ideas. Let's think about that. Maybe we dodged a bullet with that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think we did.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. But yet he still married Samantha. Mad
Yes.
respect there. So, all right. So, a match that was added this past week, but not surprised. The Sin City Street Fight. Uh, Drew McIntyre taking on Damian Priest. Uh, any thoughts here?
Damian Priest got to win.
You know,
Got
Damian?
to win.
What about you, Adam?
Um, I could see it going either way, but I could see Drew McIntyre winning though. I could see him winning.
Valid point.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Drew McIntyre. I mean, once again, like I love his character. I love
Mhm.
what he's been built to be, and like I was kind of hoping that he'd keep the eye patch per se, because I mean, it really did make him look like a badass. But I I'm gonna go Drew just because I think Drew needs it.
Mhm.
I think they're starting to build him to be bigger and better. Maybe start in that direction of being a monster heel that he should
Right.
be. So,
Yeah,
and what better way of doing it than have him win this street fight against Damian Priest? Plus, like he does have a vendetta. I mean, he beat or he wins the world title and then he loses the title 5 minutes after Damian Priest decides to cash in his Money in the Bank. So, I'm gonna go Drew McIntyre.
Okay. Fair enough.
All right, next match on the docket. Well, I don't know. This one just seems to be built up too fast. No story for me. The women's tag team title match with Liv and Raquel defending against Bailey and Lyra. I've got no interest in this match. And last night really kind of. I mean, there were so many botches in last night's gauntlet match, especially uh, with Lyra and Bailey taking on when they were taking on uh, Chelsea Green's group. I can't think.
Mhm.
Secret Hervis. it would, to me, it really, I don't know. I'm not intrigued in this match. What say you guys?
I'm gonna say Bailey.
You taking
She's
Bailey
got
and
to win.
Myra?
Yeah, she's got to win. They got to win. So
A-DAM?
Yeah, I would have to agree. I would have to agree with Bailey, and yeah, I think they take over. I think they win the match.
I'm gonna
But that,
go. I'm gonna go with Liv and Raquel retaining because it just, like I said, it's not. There's no story there. It just seems like it was just a, hey, let's just mix up and hurry up and get the women's tag titles
right.
on WrestleMania. So it almost kind of feels like to me like an old school Vince move. So I'm gonna say that Liv and Raquel will retain.
Okay.
Uh but now here's a match that has a lot of intrigue to it. The Intercontinental title match. Braun is defending against Penta, Finn Balor, and Dominic Mysterio. So you have two members of the Judgment Day in one match.
Can they work together?
Can they work together? Hollywood, where do you see this match going?
Oh man, this is another toughie. Um, mm, I think I could see Dom pulling it out.
Hmm.
Maybe it's a little too early. They want to hold him off still. Um, I mean, because if Liv and them lose, you got to have something come back, right?
Right.
I don't think Ben Balor he'll be taken out. He'll be outside the ring. I could see Dom pulling it off in a sleek move.
Right.
I would go with Dom.
Okay.
I think,
A-DAM.
yeah.
I think it's actually going to be Finn Balor. I think
Okay.
that I think that Dom's going to have the win, but then Balor's going to pick him up and throw him out of the ring, and then take the pin and get the belt. I
Mm.
think there's so much brewing there, and then I think it's going to eventually lead to the breakup. But yeah, I think Finn Balor's got to get out of there. He's got to get
Fair
back
enough.
to the top. He's good. He needs to be that guy he once was,
I
and
could see him
I
a
think.
United States champion.
But yeah,
Right.
Intercontinental, like a Chris
I
Benoit,
think
almost
it's.
like.
hmm
Oh.
I think it's Finn's time.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna. I'm actually gonna go with Hollywood here. I mean, like, the more I think about it, like Dominic, he is like really the dark horse in this match,
Mm-hmm.
and uh, I'm gonna say Dominic, and he wins his first main show singles title.
Yes.
But I think it's going to be the opposite of what Adam said, that it's going to actually be Dom or Finn. Gets the uh, hits whatever finisher on whoever, but then
Mm-hmm.
it's Dom who will pull Finn out and get the pin. So
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I'm gonna go Dominic Mysterio to win his first singles um, main show title.
Yes. Dom. Dom.
Nice.
All right. Let's
Very
see.
good.
Let's go with another intriguing match once it comes up here. I believe it's the triple threat match, if I'm not mistaken.
hmm
The women's we'll go with the women's triple threat match. Now we were talking about I'm sorry, it's Io Sky who's defending her title against Bianca Belair and Rhea
Yes.
Ripley. What a build to this match.
I
I'm
like the excuse me. I like Neil Sky. I like her. That girl is phenomenal.
yeah.
Phenomenal.
Oh, she's so
Gritty.
over too.
Gritty.
Yeah. And
Yes.
she's over. I don't care what anybody says. She's over like Rover.
Mm-hmm.
So, are you taking EO, or are you going in a different direction?
I'm gonna stay Io Keith. Yeah, I'm staying with her.
Okay. A-DAM must have had to go get a snack.
No, I'm letting the dog out.
I
But
damn you.
yeah, I think that EO retains. I think she's too good. I think that something's gonna happen between Bianca and Rhea um to build up their stuff more. I think that maybe um Naomi or Jade get involved too with her, but I think
Right.
EO retains because of all the chaos between all the other girls. But I think EO's just so special. I just
Hmm.
She's come a long way, but she's really proved herself.
Yeah.
She's not a big tall but she's small, but she's really athletic, and she's really good in the ring. And when she's in the ring, she makes other people look better.
Yes.
And I think she's got a lot of potential. So
Right.
I think the right thing to do would to keep it on EO.
Interesting. You know what? I'm actually gonna go EO also. Now, do you remember what we were just talking about with Naomi and Jade? I
Mm-hmm.
still think Jade's gonna have some sort of hand in this match because it had who was recording the attack uh of Jade? It had to have been Bianca, and they are turning Bianca heel. I don't care
Mm-hmm.
what the basement dwellers of the IWC say. They're not booing her because she's black. They are booing her because she is a heel, and she's pertaining to be a heel. Did you not? When you notice that she's wearing nothing but black now,
Hmm.
and the way her mannerisms are, it she had something to do with that attack with Jade, and that's going
Yeah.
to lead into their match. And you're going to start seeing, like I said, with the intertwining of that match between Naomi and Jade, it's going to intertwine with Bianca. So I'm really intrigued to see where this goes. If they're gonna, but I do think that Jade's going to have a hand in preventing Bianca being or winning, and I do think Io, which a lot of people might think that she's kind of just there being the third wheel. She's not being a third wheel. She has a very important part in this triple threat match. And I was real like count me being surprised when she beat Rhea a few weeks ago for the title. I mean, that was awesome.
Yeah, I
Absolutely
loved it.
incredible. Yeah, I did not hate it at all. And I would love to see Io she lost the WWE Women's title last year. I would love to see her retain the Women's World title this year. Just kind of bring everything into full circle.
What's her name come back? What's her name? Fukunaka?
Oh, are you
Asuka.
talking about
Asuka.
Asuka?
Asuka.
Uh, I didn't even think of that. That could be in play somewhere.
Hmm.
That could be a night or a night after WrestleMania surprise. So
Hmm.
we'll put a pin on that. That's a really interesting. I didn't think of that.
Yes.
Interesting dynamic there. All right, and then finally, the main event, the match that's going to close out the WrestleMania weekend. The WWE champion Cody Rhodes defends his title against John Cena. Now, what a heel turn we saw back at Elimination Chamber with John Cena. It would you call now? Would you guys say that was on par of like maybe like when Hogan turned heel 30 years ago? Think this is like the biggest heel turn in 30 years in wrestling?
Uh, Hogan was better,
Yeah,
but him and The Rock had bad history. Cena. That's why I was real surprised. You know,
yeah, yeah,
um, when he gave him the sign of the end it, because it was getting kind of weird with Cody and The Rock. You know what I mean? On
Right.
what he wanted, and then just that look that John Cena made was like a total different character with the frown. Just with the frown, same guy, but he made himself a whole different character.
Right.
And I don't know, are we giving you the belt, John Cena, to retire and then give it up? Or you get the win, but there's no belt.
Hmm.
You win the match, but you don't win the title.
Right.
I don't know. That's where I'm caught at. I'm gonna say John Cena's gonna win.
See, a lot of like dynamics. I mean, like the promos that we saw, like the first promo when Cena finally came out and said that he's breaking up with us. It's not me, it's you, basically. Promo saying that because we hated the spinner belt, and you booed me when I tried to be the nice guy. And I mean, heck, it's incredibly funny in a way and kind of sad at the same time that, the night that he turned heel, he met up with all those Make-A-Wish kids. I mean, he
Mm-hmm.
legit said F them kids that night when he turned heel. Uh, but then you had in the first two promos, like every time Cody came out, as soon as Cody came out, John Cena would just book it and run. Then the third promo, we finally get the real story, that it was, he can't stand seeing Cody, being a champion, that he's basically just another wrestling fan, that he should be out with us instead of being the champion in the WWE, and that, once he beats Cody, he's taking the title with him as the last true champion. I mean, there's a lot of working parts, a lot going on, and this has been a great build. And I just what I'm the one thing I do get frustrated with Cena in particular right now too is, like he was back for 3 weeks, but they were all in Europe. He hasn't been
Right.
back here because even though he promised that he was going to be, working week in and week out, because it's his last year, and that he wasn't gonna do any movies. He's doing a movie out in Europe. And we'll finally get him here, finally in the States next Friday. But that's just the one thing that just kind of frustrates me. But it's a great opportunity for Cody to, you know, to show what he can do in this rivalry, to keep this rivalry uh hot, basically. So uh anything to add there, A-DAM?
Yeah, I think Cena's gonna win.
You
I
going
do.
Cena?
Yeah, I think it's Cody Rhodes' run is done. Um,
Yep.
I do think it. I do think it was one of the. I do think it was a really good heel turn. I kind of would put it over Hogan's. I just think that back then when WCW did it, like I think they kind of had to do something new.
Mm-hmm.
Back then in the Attitude Era, they had. I don't. To me, WWE didn't have to do this with Cena.
Right.
They could have had him, you know, win it, being the typical Cena, but for them doing that and to shock the whole WWE universe the way they did and have him do something that he's really never done for what it's been
Right.
22 years, you know, um, and for them to do that, but I I think Cena's gonna win, um, and I think that The Rock's gonna get involved, obviously,
Mm. Well,
but
yeah, I think, yeah, he has to get, yeah. Uh
Cody's run is done. I know you're upset, Al, but it'll be okay.
you know what? I'm doing it. I'm going Cody. Stick to my guns, man.
Wow.
I'm sticking to my
Oh,
guns. But I will not. But if Cena, I will admit, or I will say this, I will not get as up of upset I was 2 years ago when Roman beat Cody. If Cena beats Cody this year, I was
Oh.
mad. I was so mad. I had I had both you guys just ripping on me, like. throwing the finger at me,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
finger up. I was so mad that night. Got my redemption last year, but I'm sticking to my guns. I'm gonna go Cody because I'm a Cody Rhodes fan. I'm not a John Cena guy. And but I
What
think
about The
deep down
Rock?
inside I know Cena's gonna win, but I'm sticking to my guns, guys. So all right, well, Hollywood, we appreciate you being here. Do you and Adam have anything else to say against each other right now since you guys are here?
Just be ready for the 10th at MU.
I will be. I will be training more, and I can't wait. This is going to be a slobber knocker. I'm excited, and I hope everybody can come. And this is going to be a great show from top to bottom. Um, I'm just really excited. I can't wait.
I mean, you got to look at it this way. You can't tell me that your loins ain't tickled. I mean, this is this is this is something like Christmas morning, or you go on to school and you want to show you've been out for 3 months and you want to show them your new shoes you got for the first day of school. That's that kind of feeling. And I've been
Oh
stressing to
yeah.
people as well. This is no backyard thing. This is a lot of work put into this. I said,
Mhm.
and this is something you're going to really, really enjoy. It's going to be a great, great night.
Mhm.
And, all of us, may the best man win is what it's all
Yes.
about. And, we got a lot of good things. And, I'm proud of you guys with the show you guys are doing and everything. I mean, who would have thought 2 years ago? You know what I mean? You guys were asking about it. And then now look at
Mhm.
it.
Yeah,
Unbelievable. And more to come. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Think people can just keep branching. We're in this
yeah,
Mhm.
all together, man.
yeah,
Good stuff. But I thank you guys, and I have to get back with my training tomorrow. And yeah, and one for Coach Nick.
yeah.
Yes.
This show tonight was for you, Coach Nick, and for you, Coach Mike. We know you couldn't be here.
Yeah,
Um, I know I'm gonna still retain my SWA title, but Mike, we hope that you can get everything into order, buddy. We can't
yeah,
wait to see you back.
yeah,
Um,
Yes.
we can't wait to see you guys on Wednesday night. We'll uh, keep following us. Follow the Fives of the Week on YouTube right now and Facebook. Keep up with us on Facebook and YouTube, but you can also find us on Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, Odyssey, Pandora, uh, Amazon with Amazon Music, and Audible. Until next week, guys, this is Gumpzilla.
A-DAM.
Hollywood Applesnatch.
Thanks for this crossover promotion, and we will see you guys next time.
Thank you
Peace.
guys.
See you. Thank you.